Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Crystal Clear podcast. Today, I get to sit down with someone I've known for over a decade, girl, almost like 20 years,
Yeah.
actually. Sara Jenkins, founder of Gems by SJ. I've watched this woman build multiple businesses, raise three kids, and somehow make it all look effortless. She is truly impressive, and I am so excited to have her here on Crystal Clear today. Sara, welcome.
Thank you.
How long have we known each
That was a
other?
nice intro. It's nice to impress people.
Uh,
Uh,
Girl, you're impressive.
oh boy. I was thinking about that just the other day. We hmm, met before I met Ben. I want to say circa like 2006 or 7. I
Yeah.
moved to Austin in 2006.
Yeah. Jamie and I were trying to do the math on this, and we were saying, I think she had said like 2000 and yeah, 7 or 8. So we were like, okay, 17, 18
Yeah.
years.
That's
Yeah. So
crazy.
almost
A lot of
20
life.
years. I
We've been around for a
know.
lot of life, haven't we?
So we've known each other in our 20s,
Yeah.
30s, and now
But
40s.
that's not possible because we're still 29.
True. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming
Yes,
on. I'm
thanks for having me.
excited to like share your story and, inspire
Thanks.
other people, not just
Thanks.
women,
Hopefully.
people.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
So, did you always know you were going to be an entrepreneur or did that just sneak up on you?
That is a tricky question for me. I want to initially say it snuck up on me, but then thinking back when I was a kid, I always would like sketch outfits and I had like a brand. And I grew up in Houston, so it was Galleria Kids because I loved the Galleria. That was the name of it. And I really wish I still had those. Um, so I never had plans beyond that, but thinking back and that question and maybe like subconsciously I did want to be an entrepreneur or have some sort of a brand, be in fashion, but everything else snuck up on me for sure.
You should have trademarked
I
Galleria
wish,
Kids
right?
because that is so
I
catchy and
know. Is
so cute.
it?
It is.
Yes.
So you went from TV, sales, media to publishing your own magazine edition in Austin. How did each chapter shape you, and what did those experiences teach you about building and owning something of your own?
Hindsight's always fun, isn't it? When you think
Hmm.
back on your experiences. I actually have a professional selling degree, and most people, I think, young or old, are like, no one says I want to be in sales. It's just kind of one of those cheesy, funny things that I don't think anyone aspires to be in, except for me. Um,
And me.
so yeah, I actually really wanted to be in media, and ended up convincing the CEO of Belo at the time, it was a big media conglomerate, to start a internship program. So I was their first intern and then got a job working for a TV station in San Antonio. And it's interesting because they don't typically hire fresh out of school.
Hmm.
And now I see why. I did have some experience being in the internship and shadowing a lot, but I was 100% commission, like out of the gate of college.
Wow.
And it was definitely like throw you into the deep end, sink or swim. But it taught me so much and just hard work, if anything. So much of that, time management was important, and I'm still trying to figure the time management thing out. But that taught me a lot. And then sliding over to the publishing side, it was all the media experience, but even more because there was more responsibilities there and just more I was in charge of. So I think that really set me up for success with everything I've done.
And was that here in Austin?
So I started in San Antonio fresh out of
Hmm.
school and then came to Austin about 2 years later.
Okay, and that's where you met Jamie,
Yes,
right? You
yes, we
guys were
worked
both,
together.
and that was in media?
Yes, that was at
Okay.
KU. Yeah, we had the best time. We had a pack of girls in our 20s, and oh my gosh, we went to the gym together, lunch together, dinner together, worked together, encouraged each other. It was the best
But
just
you guys
having
knew each
that.
other before.
No, I was her very first friend
You
in
were.
Austin because
Okay,
she started
so
working in KU.
Sarah, the other
Yes,
Sarah, they
yes.
went to college
They went to
together.
college together.
And then
Yes.
you are like an Austin friend. Okay,
Yes.
I don't know why I was thinking all of you girls went to
Yeah.
college together.
Nope. They are
Okay.
Northwest girls, and I am Texas through and
I
through.
love it. Okay,
Yep.
well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
I should have known that. So, Gems by SJ. Okay, I love the origin of this story. RV trip, gemstone necklaces, a nurse best friend. Tell me exactly what happened.
Oh goodness. So that's a fun one. We have a RV and we take a big family trip every summer and I don't sit still well.
Mhm.
And I was kind of like playing around and dabbling with making necklaces. I've always been crafty. And whittling necklaces, nodding as I go, watching YouTube videos, trying to figure out how to put clasps on, trying the whole thing. And you have a lot of time on the RV, so it was
Mhm.
helpful. And I made a necklace. My childhood best friend, since sixth grade, lives in Denver. She's a nurse. And so we saw her on the trip and I gave her a necklace. And she's like, oh, thanks. It's beautiful, whatever, And she wore it to work with her scrubs and literally started selling them off her neck.
Wow.
And I'll never forget, I wish I had, it was a purple post-it. And one day she called me and was like, Rachel wants these colors and Lynn wants red and orange and green. And, so I'm writing it all down and I'm like,
Mhm.
well, what did you tell them they cost? And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I told them they were $100. And I was like,
Okay. Hell yeah.
okay.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought so.
Kinda.
So I
Yeah.
kind of started around
Okay.
that range. And it just transpired from there.
Mhm.
It really was interesting because it started so fun. And then I had to almost like backtrack into like, oh, I need to learn how to make this a business and
Mhm.
figure the business proponents out, you know?
So with that
So,
first necklace, was it kind of like the one that I'm wearing that's like universal style, or was it just like what was that necklace
yes, the
like?
rainbow.
Okay, okay, beautiful.
Colors just grab me.
Yeah.
And I think they bring so much joy. And not everybody's even a colorful human, but they're still like, oh, I wouldn't wear that, but I like it.
Yeah.
So, yes, it started with kind of the rainbow palette and even almost a Roy G. Biv. I like to call it that order. And then they've kind of gone different directions from
Mhm.
there. Sometimes I have to remind myself that not everybody is neon pink and
Yeah.
rainbow. And so I try to make some
There's some goth
neutrals.
girls
Yes,
out there that you
yes.
want to
And I've sold to some goth girls. I have
Yeah.
some blacks, because they're semi-precious gemstones. So
Yeah,
they're,
are they?
and most of them
Okay.
are faceted. So you can really see, the different facets of the
Mhm.
stones and the quality of them, the weight of them. So, yeah.
They're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, my mom is always like, "Oh my God, this one and that color." I need to um Mother's Day just passed, but her birthday's
Yes.
coming up.
Okay.
So I need to go and see exactly which
There was
one.
one I remember you
Yeah, it
telling
was
me
the blue
about. It
one.
was
I think it was
blues.
like
Yes.
blues and oh, it was so beautiful. So I'm
Yes.
gonna okay.
Okay.
Well,
We'll
let's
we'll make a
circle
note of
back
that. Yes.
for her birthday. She will absolutely love that. So, how did boutiques across the country start carrying your line? Was that organic or did you have to hustle for it?
And that's a little bit of both too. I would say initially very organic. My very first boutique is Lux Rocks off of Southwest Parkway. And I walked in there shopping one day and had a few necklaces on. And the owner was like, oh my goodness, I love your
Mhm.
necklaces. And I was like, thanks, I made them. And we just started talking. And she was like, well, I'd love to carry them. And so I've noticed, and hopefully one day, if the time allowed right now, if I could just travel and walk into boutiques, 90% of the time they'll pick up
Yeah.
my line. The emailing though and getting a hold of the owners is the
Mhm.
challenge. So a lot of the boutiques, if I can walk in, I would almost say 75% of my boutiques I've walked in and that's how I have gained that customer.
Just from wearing them
Yep.
and them being like, "Hell, you're not
Yes.
soliciting
I
this."
try now to
Yeah,
pile them
yeah.
on and walk in and
Yeah.
wait for the compliment. But sometimes if they're busy or if I'm in there, purposefully to like seek them
Yeah.
out as a customer, then I of course will say something.
Yeah.
But the other challenge, and I do have several boutiques that I've never been in
Mhm.
that have either found me from a wholesale website or my website, but my outreach, that's where the hustle comes into play.
Yeah.
And that's where the 100% commission at,
Mhm.
23 years old, um, that I have to like kick myself and say, hey, this is work and it's
Yeah.
worth it, but you have to do it. You have to pick up the phone and you may have to call 7 more times to get the decision maker on the phone. So, yeah, a little bit of both.
So it's interesting. This is kind of like a side bar, but it ties back to sales. So Liz, she's a
Yeah.
personal stylist. And I just spent all this money at Aritzia. I love Aritzia. And she was like, "Oh, you need to talk to my girl there." Well, her girl's my girl. I'm like, "Yeah, I love her. I've been like shopping there for a few years, but I didn't like, she's never solicited me to be her client. I just
Okay.
assumed it was like a shared commission." And she was like,
And it's
"No,
not?
it's not." So she set up an appointment.
Maybe you're not a hard sell, Krystle.
Girl,
She's like, this girl's gonna buy it anyway.
yeah, but I'm like, I don't
Huh.
know that she's earning commission off of me,
Yeah.
and I spend a lot of money at Aritzia. So like, what the hell? So I'm making it a mission tomorrow to be like, hey, girl, like you could have and should have been turned me into a client a long
Yeah.
time
That's
ago.
interesting.
It is interesting, but
Yeah.
a part of it, I'm like, I think maybe some people just don't have that drive. They
Yeah.
don't have that level of like, if it was one of us, we would have
Yeah.
been like, oh, she's spending a lot of money in here and comes in freaking often. I'm going to make her my client.
100%.
Yeah, I had to be like, she connected us,
Yeah.
and I had to be like, hey, girl, like,
I wonder if it's her first job.
yeah, she's young. She looks like
Yeah.
she's in her 20s, but either way,
But
you
and
and
that could be a good teaching moment. Pull your mom hat out
yes,
and
I
say,
am.
"Hey, like you should have done this with me. So in the future, do it.
I
Say
am
it." Yeah, and
100%.
that might change her path.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, right. She would be
She
like,
might just be like,
forget her. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But I do think it's a personality type,
Yes.
right? You to be like
Yes.
really successful at sales, your ass has to be asking for the business,
Yes.
not afraid to go after the business, fine with the rejection. You pick yourself up,
100%.
dust yourself off.
Yeah.
Like I am so used to, especially in real estate, I am so used to bad news and things
Yeah.
happening constantly
Yes.
that it's like it's sad, but it doesn't phase me. I'm
Yes.
just like,
And you can't
okay,
let it.
how can I
Yeah.
learn? How can I grow? You always like it's all always gonna be okay.
Yep.
You have to have that. And oh my God, Nick, his number one line every time I'm watching Tennis Channel, he's like, you have to have the mentality of a goldfish. And it's true. Like you instantly forget.
Oh, Yep.
Something bad
Like, what are you,
happens, you
goldfish?
just
Yeah.
instantly
Yes.
forget it, when you're out there playing
Yeah.
tennis as you play and
Mhm.
you love.
You
Like
do.
it's the same thing ties back to sales. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a little mom moment because
Yep.
I have an
I
appointment
agree.
tomorrow.
Because it's one thing to talk like I can talk to a wall. I mean,
Yeah.
I like to talk to people. Even my husband's like, why do you have to talk to every Uber driver? Like, do you have to talk to everybody? I'm like, yes, I do. But I get my energy. I love hearing people's stories and where they
Yeah.
come from and just little tidbits here and there. But then so obviously a large part of the game is the talking. But then when you have to ask for the sale or ask
Mhm.
even, if you do get turned down, can you please tell me what the issue was because I can learn from this.
Yes.
And nobody wants rejection or likes it. And sometimes it can ruin your day and it can ruin mine.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you can't let that happen.
That's right. You got to pick
Yeah.
yourself and keep it moving.
Yeah.
So, Miami Swim Week, Paris Fashion Week, from RV to Paris. How
Yeah,
do
I
you
love that, from
even,
RV to Paris.
yeah, how do you even process
Um,
that?
I'm still processing
Yeah.
that. People ask about that, and I can talk about that. I don't want to like hijack this episode on that alone, but it was just the most amazing experience. It's so fun being the accessory designer too, because they pair you with the apparel designer.
Okay.
And so just dressing the models, I got to dress the models. It's like they all come out on dress rehearsal day and they're wearing what they're going to wear
Mhm.
for show day. And then I get to put the jewelry on them.
Amazing.
And in Paris, I was paired with a designer from, I want to say Brussels. And she
Okay.
was had such an interesting look. You could tell she was just an artist from
Mhm.
her blonde dreadlocks, her boots, her outfit. Like you could tell she made it. But I was shocked that she loved my brand. And I do a
Yeah.
lot of Western. She really liked my Western line.
Okay.
And some of the things that she suggested, and like, can we make a belt out of this one? And just where her mind went with the jewelry, that my mind, as the creator of the jewelry, has never been.
Mhm.
And so that was just so inspiring and
Yeah.
amazing to watch it all kind of come to fruition.
And how did that even like transpire? Was that you going after it, people coming up to you? I mean, I feel like it takes people years to get to that
Yes.
point.
Oh my gosh.
And the fact that you accomplished that in what, one, two, a
Well,
couple
I
of
will.
years?
I should be transparent. There is a lot of Paris Fashion Weeks and Miami Swim Weeks. I
Mhm.
was not rubbing elbows with, is it Kendall or Kylie or whichever
Yeah,
one is
yeah.
on the runway? People are like, "What famous people did you see?" And I'm like, "Well, me,
Yeah.
not them." But so there's many, many different ones, and
Mhm.
I obviously wasn't with the Chanel's and the
Yeah.
Gucci's and the big names. But this was a company that actually I love. This company. It's called Flying Solo, and they're out of New York City. And they have 3 storefronts there, and then they also have Milan and Paris and a few storefronts. And so what they do is it's 4 designers that started this business. And so they started this business to help other aspiring
Oh,
designers.
wow.
And so you can have your items like in their
Mm-hmm.
storefronts and they'll facilitate, basically, I don't have to be there. They handle all the sales and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And so I was actually in New York for a trip, found them, but I didn't know that they did these shows.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked into potentially having my items in their store. And then while I was still kind of mulling that over, they reached out. They had an accessory designer fall out of the Miami Swim Week. And so it was kind of a last minute, but they were like, "Do you want this spot?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I
Yes,
want
and
this spot."
literally perfect.
Yes.
Like
So
the ultimate
perfect.
compliment to
Yes. I mean, a whole open wide canvas to put jewelry on with bathing suits for sure.
yes.
So, and then when I found out, I applied for the Paris one after that. And now I'm like, what do I do next? I could
Yeah.
just live doing those shows. I mean, it's just the energy, I mean, everything about it is just so,
Oh,
so neat.
it's incredible. Especially
Yes.
like I love Miami swim week, fashion week.
It's swim week.
Swim week,
Hmm.
right. I because I like love living in a bikini and taking
Yes.
vacations and it's like Playa
Yes.
del Carmen was truly I saw a whole other level of like swimsuits. You know, when we're going up, we're just like throwing baby oil
Yes. Oh my
on
gosh.
and
Yes.
a swim and what is it?
Oh, sun in,
Yes,
right? Sun in.
sun
Yeah.
in baby oil
Oh
swimsuit,
my
no
gosh, just fried
makeup.
to a crisp from the baby oil. I did
Yeah.
that in Hawaii.
And then I started going, to Playa del Carmen. We all did in our 20s. And then you
Hmm.
see all the Europeans there, and it's like a fashion show. It's like the
Yes.
bikini and the accessories, and oh shit, they're wearing makeup and they're
Yes.
wearing like all of these incredible things. So it's like totally elevated my whole swim style
Yes.
that I've carried over and forever and always will. So,
Hmm.
I mean, this is just such a gorgeous
Yes.
compliment to
Thank you.
any swimsuit.
Yeah,
So,
it's so fun to add the colors. It really, even
yeah.
though swimsuits are so colorful, like
Yeah,
whether you're in black or white or you're in a rainbow, you add more color.
exactly right. So, what does a day actually look like running Gyms by SJ while also raising three kids?
Oh, every day is different. It just depends on the day and the week and what we have going on. And I try to sit down over the weekend or on a Sunday and map out the week and all the activities because my kids are at the ages now. They are, how old are they? 6, 10, and almost 13, and two boys.
Wow.
So the sports. But I say that the two boys in the sports, and my daughter has danced more a week than the
Oh, how
boys even,
funny.
have sports sometimes. So they're just all very busy. So, in a lot of my events, like a lot of my trunk shows and a lot of these big things are the weekends and evenings. And so that's when this supportive husband comes into play
Yeah.
too. And we just kind of sit down and look at the week and the activities for the kids and just say, who can cover what. And then during the day, I think that's the hardest part of being an entrepreneur is the time management and
Yeah.
knowing what to prioritize when you are in charge of everything. And prioritizing, and saying, well, this actually matters or this is due.
Hmm.
I work well under pressure. And so I hate that, but I've always been that way. I definitely procrastinate. And so oftentimes that like shifts my
Yeah.
priorities for the week is like, well, what is due next? And
Yeah.
who is waiting on me for this? So it's just, I mean, every single day is a true shit show. And just, I mean, I just a lot of caffeine.
Yes.
And sometimes it's evenings, what I need to get done and what I need to finish.
Yeah.
And just whenever I can, sometimes I will sit and I have a supplier now, thankfully. So a lot of like the making is off of
Hmm.
my
Oh,
plate.
nice.
So that's
Okay.
been huge. I'm like,
Hmm.
my husband is an entrepreneur and he was like, you cannot scale this business if you're making
Yeah.
every piece. And
So let
so
me ask you with that, because you're the creative person behind it, are you like making one and then
yes.
ask, oh, got it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I make the samples
Got it.
but I still touch every piece. I put the clasp on.
Okay. Okay.
So I have got my supplier that will actually string and knot because that is
Yeah.
the knotting is so time consuming.
Okay.
You see a lot of necklaces out there that they're just beads strung and that's great. But the knotting is what
Got it.
really is the
Okay.
quality and the time that goes into them. I would sit at baseball games or like the car pickup line knotting
Yeah.
necklaces.
Shit.
And a part of me loves it. It's so therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's just nice
True.
to like do something with your hands, but it's also huge that that's off my plate. So,
That's amazing. So they
yes.
say three kids is the hardest.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
You should have told me that.
Yes, they do. There's I'm one of three, but there's like an odd man out. You have four
Yes.
kids, they get to
Yes.
partner up with each other. You have
Mm-hmm.
two kids, they have each other. One, that's somewhat challenging. It's like I would say maybe the easiest, but also challenging because you're their only source of
Yes.
entertainment.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. I don't even
it's
know what that's like anymore, though. It's
yeah,
all perspective.
yeah,
When we had one, we thought it was really hard.
yeah.
And then two was hard. And now we're like, well,
What's
I
another?
mean, I got my girl, though.
Yes.
That was where the three came in.
Would
Lots
you
and
have
lots of
had
prayers.
four if
So many people
you?
ask me that. And
Yeah,
I honestly think I would have.
yeah.
I
To
would have
have
more babies. I don't know. I love
really,
babies. Like
yeah,
when they turn into assholes when they're
yeah.
like a little older, and
You're
now
like,
they're all assholes. Not my daughter, but the 13-year-old.
Ellie's an angel.
She is. She's my angel. And the boys are always like, "You like Ellie the best," and I'm
Oh,
like, "Well, she
funny.
likes me the best.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
she's just so much more enjoyable. You're a jerk." I keep hearing the jerk is a phase. I think
Okay.
this
When
preteen
does it
thing.
start?
It just started. First
Okay,
day of
okay.
sixth grade.
Oh,
Last summer we
shucks.
went to Europe, just the two of us, and he held my hand all day,
Oh,
every day, walking
honey.
down the streets,
Oh,
loves me, tells me I'm beautiful. First day of school, sixth grade starts, and he is just too cool for school. And like, I mean, the eye rolls. I
oh
mean, the whole
my
head is just,
gosh.
oh, it's
Okay, so I
so
have a little bit of
sad. Oh,
time.
you do.
I have 6 more years,
My 10-year-old is
hopefully.
even still really sweet.
Okay.
Really sweet. And they're very different kids though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grayson, I've lost him, but I've heard he'll come back.
He'll come back
He
to
wants a new
you.
bike though, so he's been
Oh, okay.
really nice the last few
Okay.
days.
We'll take
'Cause,
it. Look,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it takes. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah. It's
Well, entrepreneurship runs deep in your family. Dad, both grandfathers, your husband. Does that make it easier or does it add pressure?
I think it makes it easier from the perspective of what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so much harder than anybody thinks.
Yeah.
They see all the glamour and success of any business. Nobody sees the hard parts and the behind the scenes and like the turn downs and the days where you're like, do I want to keep going? Is this worth it? No one
Yes.
sees that.
Yeah.
So I think just knowing the hours my dad worked when I was a kid and seeing my husband, like having babies, he would be in the hospital, like away on a computer. And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need you. Where's my bell? But then the pressure, nobody puts the pressure on me because thankfully we're not counting on me to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And so that, this is more fun and that's lovely. And I think
Yeah.
my husband's so great about this is for me and he
Mhm.
wants it to be fun and make me happy. But the pressure in my mind of like, well, they've all been successful, so I should
Mhm.
be too. And I want to make them proud. So that always does weigh on me too. So the pressure's there.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
imagine too with your kids, right? You're like,
Yes.
want to see, mommy, like you're doing something that you're passionate about. And
Mhm.
not that it's a level of pressure, those are your children, but you want to
It
make
is
them
there with
proud,
friends
right?
too. I mean, it's like you
Yeah.
have this and I'm out there, right?
Yeah,
And I
that's true.
post every day and it just weighs on me and everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's amazing all the things you're doing. And so like for me just to not post on the days I really don't feel like it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
So that it does pressure does kind of keep you going too,
Yeah.
I think. But it can also be bad, I guess, for other reasons.
I would agree with that.
But yeah, I think pressure is good. And
Yeah.
I put a lot of pressure on myself. We all
Yeah.
do. So
Especially as an entrepreneur. That's like at the end of the day, no one is going to do it for you.
yes.
I mean, even if you have a team, but like when you're
Yes.
the brand and you've built the brand,
No one exactly. No one's gonna work as hard as you. And the
exactly.
same thing with the pressure, like us in our age right now. Hate to bring that up, 29 again. But the pressure we have on ourselves to look a certain way. And like that
Yes.
media and social media, like all of that's put on us. Like I think there's so many areas of life to feel the pressure. You feel pressure as a wife, you feel pressure as a mom,
Right.
as the entrepreneur, no matter what your job is.
It's true.
Yeah.
And we can never like at the end of the day,
Rest.
something's gonna suffer,
Yes,
right?
100%.
A lot of women, especially after having children, it's like
Mhm.
physically their health, right? And then at
Yes.
some point it's like, well, I have to prioritize like
Yes.
my health.
And the same thing with the business. Like there's some days that I feel like I'm failing everything and
Yeah.
everyone. I'm not doing a good job at either family or
Yes.
business. And and there's days when I want to pour myself far more into the business, but then I have to remind myself they're only little once.
Yeah.
And I really struggle with that reminder. Especially Ellie, she started kindergarten and so she's around a little bit more. The boys are
Mhm.
far more independent. They get home from
Yeah.
school, jump on their bikes. I don't see them or they go to their sports. But yeah, so it's finding that balance that I don't know any woman ever finds, any mom
Yeah.
that is working could ever
No,
find.
absolutely not.
Yep.
Like literally impossible. I went to this morning I woke up and I was thinking Jackson and I co-sleep when Nick's not in town, and we're in this big ass house together.
Oh,
Like I want to
yes.
it's the best. I
Yes.
love
If I had one, I would
Oh my
probably do
God, I
that
love
too.
it. And but those are like our most special moments
Yeah.
too, whenever the lights are off and it's just us and we're
And they're
talking.
so sweet
They're
in
so
bed. Like, I don't know if it's
sweet.
morning or night, they're just sleepy. They're sweeter. They're calmer.
It's so sweet.
Yes.
But I was thinking last night, I didn't have it in me. And we were both like, he was on his iPad,
Yep.
I'm on my phone. And then I was like, shit, oh my God, it's like,
A hundred
9:45. Like, we need to
percent.
go to bed. You
Yeah.
have camp in the morning. And so we got off the phone, off our electronics, and then we say our prayers and then we talk, but it wasn't long.
Yeah.
I felt like an asshole when I woke
I
up this
know.
morning. I was like, fuck, like, oh, these moments are fleeting,
Yes.
and I need to it's like, yeah, just his pressure, and he's not
Yes.
thinking about it.
Yes. I can assure
I'm
you
sure
that.
last night was great,
Yes.
and he had fun on his iPad, and
Yep.
I had fun decompressing too, and
Yep.
like, but then I'm like, no, I'm the mom, like, I need to make it a priority to have more of that quality time with him, like, both of us, just no electronics
I
the
know.
last hour before bed, and so we'll see if I implement it tonight.
Right? I
But
tell ya.
the pressure that
Yes.
we put on ourselves, but it's also they're only this little once, and he's not going to want me.
Yes.
And also with one, it's a constant
Yeah. Oh, I can't
mommy,
imagine.
mommy, look at this, look at this, look at
Yes.
this, look at this. And I'm like, fuck, I
Yes.
don't want to
Look
look
at a puppy.
anymore. I don't want to, like, give me,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
And then
But then we're gonna miss that.
I know.
You know, you always see like the little people in the grocery store when I have Ellie with me that are like, if I could just go back
I
one day to
know.
have that. And I always tell
I
myself that, you
know.
know?
I don't really like, yes and no with the baby and the
Yeah.
toddler phase. He was bad as hell. He was a fucking tantrum thrower. That shit was tough on me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, oh, I know for a fact I'm going to miss
I
this. He's
know.
so sweet
Yeah.
and adorable, still baby face, but
Yes.
kind of big boy.
But we don't, the sad thing is we don't realize that change, at least it's good and bad, I guess. You don't see that change overnight.
Yeah.
It's like every day, just a teeny tiny bit, they pull away a little more.
I know.
Like I dropped Ellie off at camp today and I did a little tickle and she was like, Mom. And she just kind of like, didn't like tell me to stop. But I was like, what was that? Like, it was just this little like,
Oh my gosh, those days are
I
dwindling. You can't
know.
be tickling her no more,
I
mommy. Oh my
know. Tomorrow I'm gonna give her a
God.
big wet kiss and see how
I
she likes that.
know.
Because that's worse than a tickle. Oh, these kids.
It's so
And they just want to grow
beautiful.
up so fast
I
too, which is sad. I'm like,
know.
no.
Yeah.
It's not fun being
It's
a
just
grown
two
up.
little
Stay little and
babies.
sweet.
So, identity. Let's talk about that. You said you believe every woman should have something that's her own. Why is it important to you? And what would you say to a woman who feels like she's lost that?
Oh, this is a deep one.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes my business I feel selfish because I don't have to do it.
Mhm.
And it isn't paying my family's bills. One day that would be fantastic. My husband would probably love to retire and let me
Yeah.
take over. But but it's for me. And so like the selfish word, but if I don't know, it's just so important. I do think, and maybe not everybody does, but I think as women, you know, you're a wife, you're a mom, you're a caregiver, you're an employee, you're something to everybody. And there's so much responsibility. So having like one little thing for yourself to get you away
Mhm.
from the responsibilities. And it doesn't have to be a business. I mean, it could
Mhm.
be a hobby, it could be fitness, it could be volunteering, just something for you
Right.
that, you know, takes you away from everything that we lose ourselves in every day.
And like the invisible weight of motherhood. It's so
Yes.
heavy. And I'm the opposite of you. I ain't got no husband paying my bills. I'm
Yep.
like, it's me, it's on me. And I'm self-employed.
Hmm.
So it's like a whole other
Yeah. Whole different
level
mindset
of
shift.
stress.
Yes.
And whew, so all the single mothers out there, like, fucking shout out, and to the breadwinning,
Yeah.
women out there. But it's interesting, I find, and you've always worked.
Hmm.
You've never
I
not
don't sit still.
Yeah,
I
you've
think it's a
never not
problem.
had to work. Like, as long as I've known
Yeah.
you, you are a worker. It's who you
Hmm.
are. you just have the drive. It's incredible and impressive. And it's interesting. I am seeing, and maybe you see this also, the friends of mine that were in a position to be able to not have to work and just raise their babies. How lucky, how blessed are they? Because they had a significant other that supported their family. But now I notice every single one of them, now that the kids are older, they're
Mm-hmm.
all like, I want my own.
Doing something.
I want
Yep.
a career. I want to
Yep.
make my own money. I want to be independent. Like, grateful for my husband. He's
Yep.
held it down, but
Something for you.
yeah,
Yep.
it's so
It is funny because
important.
I was raised by a stay-at-home mom and I always wanted to be that. And sometimes my husband will remind me, like, if there are weeks when more falls on him. And
Yeah.
that is a challenge in our relationship and our family because I'm supposed to be the stay-at-home mom,
Yeah. No.
and he's very successful. So when he's being the success and watching the
Yeah.
children, sometimes comments come out and reminders are stated. But I do think, again, just having something, but then there's the pressures again. It's like, well, why am I doing this? Or is my family
Yeah.
suffering because I am choosing to do this? Is this selfish? But
Right.
I'm also building it to hopefully take care of my, that's the goal,
Yeah.
right? To like have the shift and then have the success and have it take care of my family too.
And I think
Um,
especially for, I was going to say Ellie, but no, all of your children, like for your boys to see, mommy works just as hard.
yeah,
Like my mom was a boss. My mom
yeah,
held it down, and I imagine they're going to be attracted to women that have drive
yes,
and, want something for themselves and appreciate the independence in a
yes, a
woman.
hundred
And your
percent.
daughter, of course, it goes without being said that Ellie's going to be like, my mommy was like amazing. She worked and cooked and worked
Yeah.
out, and it's just like the
You can do
ultimate.
it all. And they
Yeah,
need to
you
see
can do
that.
it
Like your life
all.
doesn't have to fit into a box. You can be successful and have a business and you can be a great mom and be in shape. And I also, with my mom tennis, I
Yeah.
always try to tell the kids, I'm like, mom plays a sport because
Yeah.
dads don't really play sports anymore.
Yeah,
They're
that's true.
working. And
Yeah.
so, and not many moms really do either. But
Yeah.
I try to tell them, like, I'm also a badass because I play a sport, a baddie in their words, but striving to be a baddie every day. But
Yeah.
no, I think that they can learn so many things. And it's so cute because even my boys are like, oh, is she wearing her necklace? Because they're
Oh,
so
I love
identifiable.
it.
And so
Yeah, they
everywhere we
are.
go, they love seeing that. And I drag Ellie with me to boutiques all the time.
Love it.
And she's last week we went to Disney and I
Mhm.
sat outside a day to do boutiques all day long to work. And I tell her, if you want to have fun and you better behave, but we're
Yeah.
doing this first. And it's fun for her. But she loves to lay out all the jewelry and talk to the people. So I hope she's taking things from
Yes.
that.
It's shaping her
So
personality.
yeah.
Like, how could it not? I mean, later in life, I had this realization. I'm like, of course I'm in real estate. No wonder I'm in real estate. We moved 8 times
Yeah.
growing up.
True.
8
Yeah, that's
times.
interesting.
I went to 2 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 1 high
Oh my
school,
gosh.
but we were always, and my parents pretty much every single city we ever lived in purchased a home. They either custom build a home
Good
or
for
purchase a
them.
home, but typically they would always custom build homes. And so we were forever like touring
Yeah.
neighborhoods. There was always a realtor showing us something,
Isn't
either
that
a home,
funny? And that's
yes,
like what you
a
do.
home builder,
Yeah.
realtor, and that's just how I grew up. And it's like no surprise
Yep.
that I am in real
Well, and
estate.
my mom was always crafty, and so I think watching that, and there's things I actually just did a post last week where I'm building a new studio and I'm
Mhm.
so excited, and so my wallpaper is splotchy and colorful, and this is the problem when you're crafty. I'm like, I might be able to do that, so I go to Michael's, I buy 30 different colors of spray paint, and I'm trying to. I'm like, well, maybe I could save a few grand on wallpaper and do this myself. It was awful,
Did you do it
but
yourself or did you
no,
outsource
wallpaper has been hired and
it?
purchased. I mean, it was a good attempt,
Yeah.
but that's and with necklaces, it's like if I see something I like, and I think the first necklace that inspired me was like $800 or
Oh,
something like that, and
wow.
I was like,
Yeah.
maybe
I
I could
can do
make
that.
that, and
Yeah.
Pinterest, all the things. I'm like, I have more glitter and crafts as more than most adults should ever think about having, but
Hilarious.
yeah, but so it is funny what you grew up kind of mimicking and
Yes.
seeing with your parents
Yeah.
and your
Subconsciously, you don't
family.
even
Yeah.
realize sometimes that,
Yes.
like, yeah, of
Very
course.
true.
Yeah, I do this and it's there. It's actually no surprise.
Yeah.
So, what do you want your kids to take away from watching you build this?
So many things. I think the perseverance and just the work ethic is so important for anybody. But I also think this did all start so organically, and sometimes the best things can grow
Mhm.
from chasing your light and something that makes you happy. And I want them to see that it could be something completely unconventional that they do that makes them happy. And and then all the hard work and,
Mhm.
things that go along with it. But also, and then when it is a hard day and being turned down and
Yeah.
also being scared to do something. And,
Yeah.
I always tell my kids, and this is something I think is so important with sales, is if you're nervous to do something, what is the worst that can happen? They
Mhm.
tell you no.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? And so my kids, all of them, like when they want something at a restaurant, or even, there's a restaurant near where we live that has little gumball machines and stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm like, here's your dollar, go up and ask for the quarters. Like they
Yeah.
do it.
Good
They need
job.
to learn to speak to adults and use
Yep.
their manners and approach people when the time is right.
Mhm.
That's one thing I'm working with a 6 year
Oh
old. That's
God. Oh girl. Oh
like,
my God. My
like,
son has no
oh,
concept of like other
no.
people and space and volume and oh
Yes.
God.
And that takes time.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they're always my middle boy. Like he came home with a $50 bill the last week of school in his backpack. And I'm like, where did you get this? He sells 3D printed items at school
Shut
and
the hell.
squishies. Like he has quite the little business.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yep,
we already have an entrepreneur. I
yep.
love
He
it.
actually bought himself a bike without permission. It was an illegal bike and it was expensive at the park, did the whole deal. This is a whole nother story, that kid, what
Ooh.
he's been doing lately. But with all his money that he has earned,
From it.
he
So you guys bought him like a 3D printing
yeah.
machine and he's
The
been
whole family uses it. But yeah, he makes his little things and sells gadgets. I have friends that'll text me and be like, "Can you put Lisa Marie recently? She was like, "Can you put my twins on the list because he ran out, but they want to be on the list to get the squishy tomorrow?" Like so I'm
that
like,
is
"Ah."
amazing.
So it's
Oh
already
my
starting,
God.
And Grayson was so candy when he was really little. He got in trouble for bringing candy to school and selling it. I think he was in
Selling
like
it.
first grade.
That's
So it
amazing.
does,
Okay.
yeah.
It's
It
already.
is in there. But they just have to make good decisions along the way. I'm like, these boys, they're so
And it's
dumb.
also like I always tell Chrisana because, and the same thing with you for buying that machine and then giving your son, like encouraging him to like, yeah, be creative and do it.
Mhm.
And it's turning into like a business. The same thing with Miles. Like what started as a passion
Yes.
has turned
It's
into a actual
amazing.
business. He's getting booked, teaching
Yes.
everywhere. And I'm like, Chris, you really should be so proud of yourself. Yes, of
Yes.
course, he has the talent and the dream and the drive, but like none of that would be possible without your
Yes,
support,
of course.
and
Yep.
investing into this business of
Yep. The
his. So,
momager, right?
yeah, good
Yep.
job.
Yep.
I'm impressed.
So I know. Gotta keep him busy too. Gotta
That's
keep him busy.
amazing. So, what's next for Gyms by SJ and what's next for you?
Well, that's a fun question. I I think just keeping the growth and growing into all these beautiful boutiques and the awareness. I think that's something that you can never have enough of,
Like,
is
what do you mean?
bringing the brand and
Okay.
having people
Brand
know the
awareness.
brand.
Got it.
And that, work on that every single day. And just keep on keeping on, but still trying to find the balance
Mm-hmm.
and, being true to how this started and spreading joy.
Mm-hmm.
Some days I would love to be the next Kendra Scott, and then other days I'm like, no, there's no need for that. Like,
Yeah.
keep this small and so I can have a hand in it. It doesn't get too big and crazy, but that would be amazing too.
You say that, and then we're going to see you on Shark Tank
Yeah.
in a year from now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. No. I mean, that would be fun, especially growing up with all the entrepreneurs. Like
Yeah.
we watch Shark Tank. It is on in my house all the time.
Yeah.
We love Shark Tank. But I don't know, there's so many things. Every single day I wake up with so many ideas and so many desires and dreams. And so it's just finding a way to grow that and reach those in a comfortable manner that makes me happy, everybody else happy, but also spreading the joy out there too, and having women, feel comfortable and being
Yeah.
their bold self and wearing color and
And what advice would you give to women that are like, feel like they have a creative idea like that and they don't even know where to start?
do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know where to
Yeah.
start. No one knows where to
Yeah.
start. I mean, now with AI and all the things,
Yeah.
there's so much information out there. I mean, I will chat GDP anything if I
Hell
don't
yeah,
know. I mean,
girl.
it's
Yes.
amazing.
Best personal assistant ever. Use it to your
Yes.
advantage, people. It is here. It's not going
Yes.
anywhere. Use it.
In fact, I've been watching videos I just saw one with now Claude and how you can set Claude up with your email to like organize and even
Yeah. Oh,
respond, but then it
really?
doesn't send. I'm like, I need that in my life because
Yes.
email gets put to the side for me
Yes.
often. Because if I'm not on the road or on the phone or designing or my fun
Mhm.
things. I don't want to sit at a computer. That's not what it was made for, but it's important and I have to do it. So yes, use the AI.
Use the AI.
But yeah, I think don't let anything hold you back.
Yeah.
Anything in this world, just do it. I mean, and then you can figure it out along the way because
Yeah.
that's what I've done.
Yeah, I also have found there's so many people that wait until everything's perfect
Yes.
and just freaking do it.
Well, how many times did our friends when we were all having babies say, "Well, when the timing's
Yeah.
right, when everything lines up and it's perfect and
Hell
this
no,
happens,"
it's
I'm like,
never
"There is
right.
no
There's
perfect
no right
time."
time. Same thing with starting a business. You're
100%.
better to have tried and failed than to
Yep.
have not tried at all. Just
Absolutely.
freaking go for it. It doesn't have to be perfect.
And how many people start how many businesses that fail and then maybe eventually get it right because
Right.
you learn from every time you do it.
That's exactly
So,
right.
yeah.
So, Sarah, tell the people, where
The
do
people.
we get your
Our
gorgeous
necklaces.
design?
So I'm on Instagram,
Hmm.
Gems by SJ and gemsbysj.com.
Amazing. So
Around the
online,
clock. Yeah.
Instagram, and then obviously boutiques
Oh
around
yes,
town.
and I'm pretty saturated in Austin.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's easy here when I can stop by, and I just love all my little boutique owners and friends. They've all become friends. So yeah, I'm in Estilo downtown, Lux Rock, Southwest Parkway, Lanai out by the Galleria, downtown, south, north. I mean, yeah,
Everywhere.
yeah.
Congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
success. You've built a beautiful brand. You are
Thank
super
you.
inspiring. You're so hardworking and you're just cool as hell and
Thanks.
genuine, and it comes across and it just shows up. And
Hey, it takes one to
yeah,
know one.
that's right,
We have
girl.
to stick together.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yes, thank you for having
Thanks,
me. Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye.